Hey guys, welcome to part 7 of the crew cab Cummins conversion. In this video, we're pretty much going to finish everything that is in this little booklet that is sent from DCS. We're going to do the vacuum lines for the vacuum pump to the brake booster, power steering lines, and then we're also going to install the AC compressor kit from Carrick Customs that moves the AC compressor up on top of the engine instead of down in the bottom. So, no more talking, let's get right into it. Because shorter sides go out like this? Yes, just like that. Why is this hard? There we go. It's gone. Oh, there it is. Wonder if we both do it. Oh, look at you, dude.
Here you go.
Nice.
Easy.
Yummy. Ooh. Brother, ooh. Seems pretty on there to me.
Hell yeah. Or I'll
it just slides right on. Hell yeah.
No, that was me.
Is that what you do to show your strength?
Grip strength.
So a few little updates that I haven't shown you guys here on camera that have happened since the last little segment. First things first is this belt here from Carrick Customs. I was having some issues with it because the one they send you it's a really tight fit. So we got the belt on, it was super painful. Had to loosen the bolts here on the alternator bracket, and then we had to loosen the bolts here on the compressor. But it's on there now. It's going to be a pain and a half to get it off if I ever need to, but I think if it runs for a while it'll break in and loosen up a little bit. Another quick thing is the instructions for this idler pulley bracket aren't very clear. There's two sets of holes here on the block. We first tried to do this set here because it didn't really tell you which set to use, so we ended up grinding a little bit of the block and it still wouldn't fit, so we were like, what the heck? And we looked at the instructions a little closer. It's actually this set of holes. They're both the same distance, but they're just right next to each other. And the instructions say use the bolts, or use the bolt holes that are right under the valve cover, which they both are. So I emailed Carrick and I told him about that, and they're going to change the instructions to make it a little more clear, so that'll be great. Another thing that I ordered was this whole... Ah, there's a bee! Get out of here! Be gone, thought! Oh, he's looking to fight. Anyways, there's this throttle bracket down here that you guys can't really see. Get out of here! Oh no, he stopped buzzing. Where is he? Fear. Anyways, there's this throttle bracket down here, which I had this metal piece back here. It's really hard to see, but I had this metal piece. What I didn't have was the return spring right here. So I bought this super nice kit off of eBay. It was like 70 bucks. Some random guy makes it, and it's at a little diesel shop. It's a fantastic product. You just put the bracket on here, and then there's another little piece down here that goes over the bolt, and then the return spring connects the two. So now, before, when I would push in on the throttle, come on, when I push in on the throttle, it would just stay stuck here, but now it actually returns back. So that is awesome. Really, really nice kit. I will link it here in the description. Another challenge I'm facing is the throttle cable itself. I just got back from the junkyard. I got this bracket from same year truck, 460. I'm actually really surprised I got it. Really nice. And I also got a couple little cables as well, or sorry, pigtails, because I sold the engine harness with the engine like a dummy, and so I needed some of the connectors. So I got this one for the AC, this one back here for the AC, and then what else? There's one for the coolant temp sensor, but that's inside. And then I also got the pigtail here for the main engine harness because I don't have it. And this will make it a lot easier to just tie into everything that's on the dash. Anyways, back to the throttle bracket. So I'm gonna have to figure out something. As you can see, they're clearly not the same. But the distance between where this hole is on the stock truck and the hole here for where the throttle actually goes into is too short. So we need to extend it out so it has the right like throw and play. So I'm going to take off this throttle bracket and kind of mess with it, see what would work best, see if I need to cut and weld some stuff. I knew this was something that needed to be done. It says so on the DCS site, but I'll try and bring you guys through that, see if you guys can replicate what I'm doing. I don't think it'll be too hard. Now the last little hurdle that I'm trying to get over with this whole project right here is the power steering. I had this hose made because DCS sends you this little power steering coupler kit, and the instructions they're clear, but either I did something wrong, which is very highly likely, or it just doesn't work, because the hose that they want you to cut on the Ford side does not fit into this coupling. So I decided to just go over to a local hydraulic shop, and they made this hose here for me. So this, which one? This one goes into the Ford steering box for the high pressure, and then this side goes into the back of this side. I better show you guys. So this is the coupler that DCS sends you. It's this piece and up. The rest of this is from the shop. This side goes into the Ford box, steering box, and then this side goes into the back of the Dodge power steering pump. So I have a feeling this is going to be kind of brutal, because the way that the Carrick Customs engine mounts are set up is they're right behind the power steering pump. So thankfully this is a nice 90-degree angle, but I may have to take out the pump itself, which is also attached to the vacuum pump, cool thing, and then attach it there and then put all the whole assembly back in, because it's just too close. But we'll see if this works. Another thing I got back from junkyard was the other part of the power steering, the low pressure side for the Ford box, because I didn't have that either. But anyways, these are just all the little things that I'm dealing with. All the big stuff is done. I just have to do all the little things to make all of the plumbing and the electrical and stuff like that work. Yeah, so that's a little update on what's going on. I'm going to get back into this, and hopefully you guys can see what I'm trying to envision. So here is the power steering pump and vacuum pump. It's an all-in-one unit. It's a pain to get off, but it's a lot easier when there's nothing on the front of the truck. That's pretty cool. Anyways, so here's the input for the high pressure, and we're just gonna sit this in here. The reason I took this off is because I couldn't get this to fit in here. It would go in at an angle because the engine mount is right here, and so I figured it'd just be easier to take it out and do this, which it is. So yeah, let's do that, and then we're gonna clock it like this, and we'll get the rest of it on there. Alright, so here's the finished product of the power steering. Kind of hard to see because of the shadow, but there's both lines right there. Go back up to the high pressure line down there, and then this is a piece of hose right here that I just cut for the low pressure line, and then I just tidied them all up. But that's the power steering done.
Yep, there it goes. Hell yeah.
This side was not super happy. Just wanted to show you guys what else I've been working on. I ordered this little stub shaft here for the NV4500 because mine didn't come with one. Man, this was a pain to get in. There's this rubber piece here that covers up the hole, but there's this metal retaining clip and spring that you have to put in there. Man, it was a pain. But anyways, that's in there now. So I took the cover plate, the transmission tunnel plate, out, and I made some measurements to see where I need to cut a hole for the shifter itself. So made some measurements here. I'm gonna go ahead and cut a little hole in here and kind of go from there and see how big I need to make it. So there we go. finished product right here. Big old hole there. Tried to make it look nice, but I didn't. But that'll work. Alright guys, I think that's going to be it for this video. We made a lot of really good progress. I'm really proud of how far it's come. So, I don't think there's a whole lot left to do in the engine bay. There's a couple small hoses that we need to get, one for the turbo wastegate, another for the vacuum. But we did get the vacuum hooked up from the vacuum pump up to the brake booster, so the brakes should work. But yeah, other than that, we just need to get the wiring done for the AC, the temp sensor, and the oil pressure sensor. And then that should be it. We got to get the swap, the tack swap helper. We need to get that in here so all the gauges inside will talk happily with the engine. And then we need to do the radiator tubing and the intercooler tubing, because this is a gas core sport, so obviously it didn't come with a turbocharger. I'm not really worried about cutting this core sport up though, because it's kind of rusted and whatnot. Hi Ellie. So that will probably be in the next video, but I'm really excited because this is coming together. We're getting really close to being able to, one, start this with the engine in the truck, and two, drive it. So yeah, thanks for tuning in and staying along for the ride. I will see you guys in the next video.